So in this video we're going to be covering bail making. I'm just wanting to put these couple of examples. So at the end of Viking knitting around a cabochon, you generally will have 2 wires left that you want to turn into the bail. So I'm going to show you a few options, and I'm going to show you a mistake that a lot of beginners make. I've just drawn it out here. So you pull the 2 wires out often and then bend them over, and what happens is the back, it continues down, but it's actually visible at the front. Now that's not necessarily wrong, but it doesn't look as professional unless you're obviously putting like a thick cord through here and it's going to cover all this area so you can't see it. But if you're just going to put it on a thin chain, then obviously that is visible all the way down. So that's just something to think about. So that's just one option. We won't be doing that today because it's just as simple as you wrap up and then you fold it over. This is the more popular option. So with the 2 wires, you bend them out, wrap a certain length, bend them so that they're straight and parallel to each other, wrap straight, and then turn it back in and then bend over so that when the wires are like this, it looks the same at the front as it does at the back. And the other options are, sorry for my terrible drawing, but basically you take the wire and then you wrap it around a mandrel, say, bring it back down and then wrap it around the front, same on the other side, and then you separate them. Or you don't even have to make a bail at all, you could just curl the wire over and attach some chain. I'm not going to show you this one because that is obviously very simple. I'm going to show you this one and this one. And like I said at the beginning, these options, no, they're kind of what people do at the very beginning when they don't really know what they're doing. But if you prefer that style, go for it. It's your jewellery, it's your look. So yeah, I'm going to show you this one and this one for doing bails. These are just with 2 wires. If you'd like to see more options, please comment below. I am more than happy to do a full bail one. This is just technically the completion of the last cabochons, where not cabochons, Viking weave, where I showed you option 1 and option 2. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link them below or in the little eye next to this. So yeah, let's get started. So we'll pretend that we have used, this is obviously not the size that you would have for any cabochon, but for the sake of the fact that what we're really focusing on is the bail, so we'll pretend that we had done this or whatever particular fashion we were doing to hold the cabochon, and now we've got our wires. Now, like I said before, we're going to go out straight and then back in, but you need to decide how long you want this. This is going to be far too much, but because I really want to show you guys at home. Also, I'm working off the reel, and this is a 1 millimeter, which is an 18 I think, and 0.315, which is a 28 gauge I think. I always like to put the writing in, but I'm pretty sure those are the right ones now, as I've been doing this a few times. So yeah, this is likely far too much, but say you were just doing this over a chain, you're not really going to need a large bail. But if I was going to do this, say, over kumihimo, seed beads, macrame, you know, like a thick cord, then I'm going to need a bigger bail. So that's something you have to take into consideration. And I did say at the again in option 1, I think it was, you know, I always leave at least 5 centimeters. But if you're going to be needing a bigger bail, that's really something, it depends obviously what the size of the cord is, but that really is something you need to take into consideration. So what you want to do is have these going out, and I like to actually bend them so I know where I'm going before I even start, and to try and get it even on the opposite side. So that one's not actually going out far enough. So yeah, make sure that it's bending out. then try and get it even. You could, you know, measure these and do it properly and mark it, but as I always say, I like to have things a little bit quirky and unique and original to me. So then we want, after that point, we want them to run parallel. Okay, so that's actually not level, but for the sake of this, again, you could measure it and mark it and with pen and do it that way, but we're just doing this for an example right now. And if you've seen my video where I show connecting two base wires and all the different weaves, you could do any of them right now. So I haven't actually even decided what weave I'm going to do. And I'm going to go over, actually I'm going to go through. I'm going to do, is it called a figure of eight weave? Or corset weave, one of the two it's called. I think it's a figure of eight weave. I'm terrible with the names of weaves because I never really learned them. I you know, I copied them from other people and made some up myself and just, you know, messed around. So I'm going to wrap over once. Oh, also how many wraps you do in between. So say I do one wrap, it'll be closer together the weave. If I do 2, 3, 4 wraps on the wire and then go over, obviously that will make it more sparse. I prefer a weave that is closer together. Personal preference. I think it just looks more intricate that way. Okay, so rather than weaving for absolutely ages, I just bent it a little bit, and where I'd bent it previously, that's now become the straight part, and then we bend back in. So just going to continue, and instead of wrapping in the figure of 8, I'm just going to do the straight over. You know, you could just do one style, there's no need to do more than one style on a bale, but I thought I'd just do something a little different because I felt like it. I also bent it back like this and then straightened them so that I could get between this hole. It's the only reason, just to make it easier for me whilst I'm wrapping. Now be careful you don't let the wire slip, even though we're still on the straight part at this point. I did mention it in, I think it was on the 2 base wire video, when we go here they are going to be able to slip. So that's just something to be aware of. Make sure you have enough wire coming off your reel. You don't want to be fighting that as well. And we'll just fast forward this bit as well. Okay, and now I'm going to switch back to the other weave. I don't know if I've mentioned this in another video, but one benefit of working off the reel is that you're not having to cut a lot of different lengths off, you're not having to add in, and you end up using less wire overall. I'm not sure if I've ever actually mentioned that, but that's something for you know, saving a bit of money. Keep pulling that wire down so it's not slipping. So once you finish weaving, what you want to do is get a mandrel of some form. You could probably use a pair of pliers if they're the right size and not graduated, a pen, anything like that. And you want to bend it. Some people will start actually on this bit. I prefer to start at the top where we've created the straight line, and bend it like that because I find that means that they match perfectly at that point. And you've created this bail, and then all you really want to do is secure it. Now with a little bit of extra wire here, you can actually use this and take it down. So say we just we've done that, we've created the bail here, we've got this extra wire, we could take it across and actually do a loop here and then fasten it, or just do it up at the top. It just gives a little bit of extra security to the cabochon. You know, you could continue weaving, or even you could just use these and actually bring them around the front and create some extra detail with them. So, you know, if you've seen the rose tutorials, you know, you could create the same sort of style there and start twisting and have that little bit of extra detail at the front. But I'm just going to leave that there because I don't want to do a full thing. There isn't actually a cabochon there to support it, but that's the result. Try not to bend it out of shape, but if you do, you can always put your mandrel back in and just fix it easily. So that was option number 1. Now I'll show you option 2. So again, I've just created another cabochon base. You know what you're doing by this point. That would be fixed. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, and we want to have our wires facing up. Okay, and then what we do is we'll just only use one of them at the moment, and we wrap around and we try and leave a bit of space between each one, almost letting it curve, and then we can bring that back down there, and then you do the exact same thing on the other side. We just fix this round like that, turn that into a loop. If you used even more, you could turn it into a spiral. I like to bend them slightly an angle because I think it gives it a little bit more dimension, and again you just wrap that over. And that's another option, and you can move these around. You could go further up the wire then do it. You could do them even larger. It's just a really simple bail that a lot of people like, and because obviously you could twist these slightly to make them go up if you put it on the mandrel at an angle and then wrapped, you could give it more shape, almost like a semicircle. So it's just another way of adding definition. That's just another really simple one. And that's it for the two I was going to show you today. Let me know what you think. The second one obviously is really simple. Not that the first one's difficult. The only thing I personally prefer is, I know I said to work off the reel, but because obviously it slips a lot and you could have cut some off and then worked that way. That's the only thing I personally do different, but I really wanted to show you like the more popular way of doing it, because again you don't have to add in, and for a lot of people that's a lot less energy, and this is the part that goes in against the neck and you don't really see it, so it's up to you how you want to do that. That's it for this video. Comment below your thoughts, if you want to see some other ones, if you want me to do, if there's 3 base wires, 4, 5, etc., how I would do that. Anything else you're interested in seeing. I also have a Facebook group, I'll link that in the description below. Please come and join. And then if you could hit that like button and subscribe and share, they're all the amazing things that help people find my channel. Okay guys, that's everything. I love you loads, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.